to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my gum grafting experience. Before we get started, I want to say I'm not going to be sharing any pictures of like the healing process because they're disgusting looking, and so yeah. And also, before we get started, be sure to click the subscribe button because I'm going to be posting a new video 2 times a week. I'm not sure what days yet, but I am going to be posting twice a week. So, yeah, let's get on into the video. So, starting with what a gum graft is basically when a periodontist goes in and takes a piece of gum tissue from your palate, which is the roof of your mouth, and places it on your gum somewhere. Now, I'm not a doctor in any way, shape, or form. I'm generally just going by what my experience was. And I'm not saying that if you have to get this done, I'm not saying that your way is going to be different. It's honestly so different in the healing process. Everyone's mouth is different. So it really just depends on you. But I'm just sharing from my experience. And yeah. Alright, so starting with the procedure. Honestly, I don't really remember much that happened in the procedure because I was on laughing gas and they numbed my mouth 3 ways. So they started with putting me on laughing gas, which is basically just like, I'm not really sure what it is, but it just kind of relaxes you and helps relax you. I've gotten laughing gas before when I've gotten cavities filled when I was younger in like elementary school, so it just basically relaxes you and calms you, and that's really all it does. It doesn't like knock you out or anything. And then the 3-way numbing, they did like a numbing gel on my gum and the roof of my mouth. Oh, I forgot to say, I got mine done in the front of my 2 front bottom teeth, where people can get it like up here and up here and up here, just anywhere basically. And so they did numbing gel and then 2 shots of numbing stuff on the down here and on the roof of my mouth. So moving on, I don't really remember what really all they did. All I know is that they did scrape the tissue off the roof of my mouth. That's all I can really tell you because I don't really remember it. And I can also say that I'm pretty sure the longest, like, out of all of it was the numbing, waiting for the numbing to kick in, and also waiting for the laughing gas to, like, start working. That took longer than the actual procedure. Now, starting with my recovery, this part is a part that was probably the longest. So, if you don't know, your mouth heals very quickly, honestly. So I was very surprised when I first went to the periodontist, and she said it's going to be like a 2-week healing process. I thought it would be like more weeks, but it was surprising because it only was 2 weeks. But there are some restrictions during those 2 weeks, like you have a limited amount of foods that you can eat and how you can eat them. So starting with, you had to have a retainer type thing. It basically looked like an Invisalign. If you don't know what those look like, I'll put a picture on the screen here. And then there was just like a clear piece that went over it, so it covered the roof of your mouth, so food and all did not get in there while you ate and affected it in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, it was also very, very hard to brush my teeth. Because all you could brush, so you could brush right here. Well, from my experience, on the top of my mouth, or the top row of my teeth, I could brush the front and this side. And then for the bottom of my teeth, I could brush this side and this side. I couldn't brush this side or in front because those were the 2 like affected areas. Down here's where they put the gum tissue, and up here is where they got the gum tissue from. Also, they did prescribed me a mouthwash, which was very, very strong mint taste, to be honest with you guys. And she prescribed that to me, and I took it in the morning after I ate breakfast, just to kind of, with the mouth guard out, just to kind of like rinse my mouth out, make sure there's no food, because if food gets down there, then it'll be compromised and not good. And so they did that, and I also did it at night before I went to bed after I ate dinner. And then moving on, they also put like a They put disposable stitches in the roof and down here to minimize bleeding. And those, for me, they did not dissolve within those 14 days, which my periodontist, my doctor, said that that was completely normal. Like, some people it dissolves, some people it doesn't. They don't dissolve. And all they did when I went back after the 2 weeks for a checkup, they just cut them out and pulled them out. And that's really all they did. And also they put down here, they put like a dissolvable Band-Aid type thing. And I noticed on the 3rd day after getting it done that it's already started coming off, and as you eat and drink stuff, it will start to come off, and that's completely normal. So now moving into my pain, honestly, I never really had any pain, thankfully, and any pain that I had, it was directly after the surgery once the numbing wore off. If you do ever have to get this, I highly, highly, highly recommend that once you walk out of that doctor's office and get in your car, that you bring water and ibuprofen with you and take it before the numbing wears off, because that's when it really, really hurt. The roof of my mouth honestly felt like just like an achiness, like almost like a cramp. And then down here felt like someone was taking a needle and literally stabbing me. And that was not very enjoyable. I did, though, have a ton of discomfort from the mouth guard. There were nights when I literally had to like sleep with my mouth open like this, because that thing, it was just so like tight around my teeth, and my teeth are so like tight together anyways, that it was very bad, and I did not like it at all. And there were some nights that I also just had to take it out and sleep without it towards the end, because I was like, okay, I cannot do this anymore. And the bad thing about it was you had to wear those literally all day, and the only time you could take it out was when you were brushing your teeth, and that was not very enjoyable for me, and it was very bad. So starting now, the limitations that I had for like eating and all, and just like physical activity and all, after the surgery, I could not bite into anything for those 2 weeks. So like I couldn't eat like sandwiches or anything, and I couldn't eat anything that I had to chew a lot, because I'm not really sure what it would do, but I mainly just had to stick to like soft foods and foods that I could like easily chew. And then drinks, I didn't really have any limitation with drinks. I couldn't drink through a straw, which was kind of hard. So like anywhere we went, we didn't really go to much of restaurants because of COVID-19, but we did go out for my sister's birthday, and I kind of ate something that was not on the list, but it was an enchilada, and so like it wasn't like anything bad. Like I didn't eat like pizza or anything, but I had to like drink without a straw, and it was just all that stuff, and I had to eat everything with a fork. I couldn't just like pick something up and you had to like use a fork, which wasn't really bad. I thought it was going to be really bad, but it wasn't bad at all. I am someone who overthinks things a lot, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what if like there's all these like what ifs that were going in my head, and I was like, what if she messes up and she's gonna have to do this and this and that, or what if after the surgery I experienced like so very bad pain. And I say I have not a high pain tolerance, but I do have a high pain tolerance. Excuse me. I do have kind of like a high pain tolerance, where like some people's pain tolerance are up here, some people's are down here. Mine's like in the middle kind of, and so it wasn't really that bad. And also, which this part is completely normal, the roof of my mouth did bleed a lot right after the surgery, and that was the only time it ever bled. And so, yeah, there's not really much else I have to say about my surgery. It went very well, and even though the stitches did not dissolve, everything else healed perfectly. And I was kind of worried that they weren't gonna, something was gonna be wrong, like I ate something wrong, even though, and I don't know how your doctor would be, but my doctor gave me a list of foods that I could eat which really helped me, and I thought it would be really like hard and difficult to sticking to like the limit of everything I can eat, but to be honest with you, I ate nothing but pasta. I ate like pasta, and I never really ate applesauce because I'm just not an applesauce fan, but I ate like mashed potatoes, and pasta was basically my diet. It wasn't a very healthy diet, but it was very good, and I normally eat a lot of pasta because pasta is my favorite. But so yeah, it wasn't really that bad. My overall rating of afterwards was, I'd say like a 1. Like, I don't really know how to rate it, but like my overall rating of the whole thing was not that bad. It was like, I thought it was going to be really bad, and wasn't. My rating for like the weirdness of foods that I couldn't eat or like could eat, I rate that like a 1 because it wasn't really that hard, and also it did get boring at some times. Like my sister, it was her birthday and she had cake, and I couldn't eat that because I could have eaten it, but I just didn't want to because my mouth was already hurting. Oh, also, you find a bunch of foods that stain your teeth when you have to wear a clear retainer. So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, so that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, then be sure to click the like button down below, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.